Deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, exploring, creepers, sleepers.
Yeah, welcome to the show. This is Smoke the Competition. I'm your host, Eric Sojash. Please give us a like. Please subscribe. Greatly appreciated. You can follow us on Twitter at Sojash Sports. In today's episode, we're going to break down the Monday Night Football game. We're going to be diving into your fantasy football lineups, who you should have on your bench, who you should have in the starting lineups, your must-starts, all that good stuff. We got the Green Bay Packers traveling to Las Vegas to take on the Raiders. This is going to be a doozy. We got a grudge match building here as Davante Adams is set to take on his old team. We got the second-year speedster wide receiver, Christian Watson. He's going to make some plays. We got some fantastic fantasy lineups to discuss. This should be a great Monday night matchup. I can't wait. Let's go. The first thing I want to do is break down those fantasy lineups. Let's have a look at who you should be starting. All right, the first fantasy player we want to break down is quarterback for the Green Bay Packers, Jordan Love. Coming into week 5, he's sitting at the QB 5 on the season, having a fantastic breakout year here in his first full opportunity to start as the quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. First 3 weeks, he had 28 points, 25, and 25 respectively. Now he's coming off his worst performance as a pro, going against those Detroit Lions. He was under pressure, wasn't able to make the plays that you've seen him do previously. I do see him having a bounce back week. He's a must start for me. He's going against the Raiders. Their defense hasn't been great all year. I believe they're ranked 27th overall. That shouldn't be a problem for Jordan. Must start player, get him in your lineups. At running back, we're looking at A.J. Dillon. This guy's had opportunity. His running mate's been injured, sat out last week with a hamstring, and he's still not able to hit the ground running. I don't like A.J. Dillon in this matchup. I don't like A.J. Dillon currently in any matchup. He's a risky play. I would have him on the bench. Haven't liked him all season. I believe with double-digit carries, his highest output in fantasy is still 6.8. Not going to get it done. Even without Aaron Jones, AJ is a risky play. Don't have him in your lineups, ladies and gentlemen. He cannot produce in 2023. Pivoting over to the wide receiver room, we're looking at Christian Watson, wide receiver of the Green Bay Packers. I have him as a must start this week. He made his debut last week, and he found the end zone. This kid just has a natural ability to score touchdowns. Now, other than the touchdown, it wasn't a big game for him. Not a lot of targets, not a lot of yards. But granted, it was his first week back off a hamstring injury. So this week, he's going to look to build off that. I believe him and Jordan Love have great camaraderie, and they're going to put that on display for the world to see. I got Christian Watson this week as a must start. And on the opposite side of Watson is the other great wide receiver in this Green Bay locker room. That's number 87, Romeo Doubs. He's caught the league by surprise this year, currently sitting at the wide receiver 17 in half PPR format. That's well above his draft status. Congrats to Romeo. He's done a fantastic job. The dude just finds a way to catch touchdowns. He's got 3 on the season already, and I can see him building on that in Monday Night Football. I see Romeo as a good start. You can definitely play him in your lineups and expect him to have a great output. The last wide receiver we want to break down for the Green Bay Packers is their rookie sensation, Jayden Reed. He's been fantastic so far this year. He's sitting at the wide receiver 36 on the season. That has him as a wide receiver 3 play, very safe. At worst, he's a flex play. Now this week, I see him as a safe start, not a good start, not a must start. But with this offense and with his opportunities, he's been able to produce. He's got a safe floor. I see him continuing that trend this week. If you don't have any other options and you're just looking for a safe floor, Jayden Reed is your guy. And last but not least, looking at the tight end room, we're going to have a look at Luke Musgrave. I see him as a risky play this week. He has had some opportunities with Jordan Love, but unfortunately, they've missed on some big throws that could have turned into some big touchdowns and would change the trajectory of his season. However, due to those misses, he's currently sitting at the tight end 25, not quite cutting it. And when they do miss on those throws, it seems like he doesn't get a lot of additional opportunities. Last week against Detroit, he ended with a putrid 1 point. Can't have that when you're trying to win championships. I see him as a risky play. Wouldn't have him in my lineups unless I had absolutely no other choice. Now jumping over to the Las Vegas Raiders, first player we're going to break down is quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. I see him as a safe start this week. He doesn't have a lot of upside. He's not the quarterback to play when you're trying to chase elite points, but he does have a safe floor with the crazy receiving core that he has, led by Davante Adams. Jimmy's been feeding him at an exceptional rate, and it has produced well so far this season. So you can bet that Jimmy's probably going to throw at least one touchdown. But like I said, there is no huge upside. He's a safe play if you're looking for just a safe floor. But if you need the killer points or you need to have a big week, Jimmy's not your guy. Jumping into that running back room and thinking of players that are absolute must starts, running back Josh Jacobs is a must start. This guy's coming off his best performance of the season, put up 23 fantasy points against those Los Angeles Chargers, and he'll look to build on that against these Packers. He missed training camp. We all know there was a holdout, some money situation going on there. They got that squared away. Now Josh has his legs under him. I see him building on his performance last week, this week against the Packers, and putting up another 15 to 20 fantasy points. I believe the Raiders are going to lean on Josh heavily to keep this game at bay and to keep the Packers, respectful, because the Packers do have a fairly scary secondary, but where they can be had is on the ground. So get Josh Jacobs in your lineups. He's an absolute must start heading into week 5. Speaking of must starts, we got Davante Adams. This is a no-brainer. Get him in your lineups. Don't think twice about it. He's a must-start wide receiver week in and week out. Doesn't matter who's at quarterback. This kid can produce, and he produces at a ridiculous rate. Now, coming into week 5, we got a caveat. He's going against his old teammates, old stomping grounds. They didn't want to pay him the big contract. I see this as a bit of a revenge game, and Davante is going to want to show out in front of the world on Monday Night Football. Get Davante in your lineups. Pop that popcorn and enjoy the mother effing show. And last but not least, we're looking at the second wide receiver in this Raiders room. That's Jakobi Meyers. I see him this week as a good start, not a must start, but dude has had a pretty good season. He's currently sitting as the wide receiver 31 in half PPR formats. He's been producing when he's on the field. It'd probably be even higher if he didn't have to miss that game due to the concussion. So I see Jakobi as a pretty good start this week. Him and Garoppolo got a good connection. Teams can't double him. They're worried so much about the run game, worried so much about Davante Adams. He's going to be freed up in a whole bunch of single coverage, and he knows how to beat man-to-man. Dude is a little underrated. He's been consistent year in and year out. He just doesn't get a lot of touchdowns, but he definitely can produce, especially in PPR format. Jakobi Meyers is a good start. Get him in your lineups.
So who gets the win and by how much?
Man, oh man, was this a tough one. I went back and forth. I really feel like this is a coin flip. I'm looking at what the Packers did last week. That was kind of hard to deal with. And with that said, I'm picking the Raiders. I'm taking the Raiders -2 at home. I'm thinking that Mad Max is going to put a lot of pressure on Jordan. He will make some plays, but I think Mad Max will get the best of him, and the Raiders offense will be able to move the ball just enough, running the ball and using their star receiver in this revenge game to pull out the W. Taking the Raiders at home, pull off the victory, probably by a field goal. Let's go Raiders. That's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining us. Give us a follow. Once again, subscribe to the channel. I'm Eric Sojash. Peace, love. Let's continue to smoke the competition.
Deep into the eyes, read them like a book. Trapped inside a prison, gotta free them like a crook. Make off with the loot, made off for the joke. Treated like these cowards never needed what we took, and we repeat it like a hook. Caught in the deep, come back like Wheezy. Card 3, sensation. Wait, then pause the beat. Eyes don't lie, truth still hard to see. They're begging me to show them, they're saying that I owe them, but I'll never give it up. Not for you, not for no one. Foreign ride, touring, soaring, open road, exploring, creeper, sleeper, snoring, sorta like you.